I am now joined by Professor Sabahudin Hadžialić, an Associated Professor Doctor and Honoris Causa from the International University Travnik in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to me this afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me.
And of course, Professor Dr. Ibrahim Yusufranic, who is the founder and rector of the university, sadly is not able to be with us today, but I'll be very grateful if you could pass on our very best wishes to him. And I'm just so sorry that he's not able to be with us.
Thank you for the kind words, and of course, for sure, I will pass the message.
Thank you very much indeed. Obviously, any university is a big entity. How would you describe your university?
In a few words, we are in a sense of creating environment to interact the knowledge and skills, meaning that all the finished graduates of the high school who are attending our university from whole region, not only from Bosnia and Herzegovina, but the region, including Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, Macedonia, having more than almost 4,000 students running within 7 faculties of the university, is the possibility for them, after they finish, to be able to join the society wherever they are in the world according to the Bologna process, because we are implementing thoroughly and fully Bologna process. That means mobility for them afterwards.
Okay. Does your university specialize in any particular area of study?
All areas of the studies within university are the particular ones, because there are several reasons for that. First of all, we have an excellent professors, especially the former assistants, former people who were studying university, plus outsiders, guest professors, visiting professors from the region and from the world as well. So out of 7 faculties, if I may say, for example, Faculty of Political Sciences, Faculty of Information Technologies, Economics Faculty, Law Faculty, Faculty of Media Communications, then Traffic and Transportation Faculty, Ecology Faculty, means that we encircle all needed things that will connect not only students, but also the university with business environment.
So, if I may suggest, they are modern faculties that apply to the 21st century.
Good remark from your side. First of all, we just entered recently into the brand new campus,
Okay.
Which has everything needed for the real execution of education in the 21st century. What does it mean? We have multimedia amphitheaters. We have even dormitories for the students within it, and all the classrooms are multimedia classrooms. That means, for example, if I may say just one example, recently we had a promotion of, by chance, of 2 my books, one published in States, another one published by the university for the students, Media Literacy Against Political Manipulations. And at the same time, we provided possibility for the audience to see one of my reviews from other 2 continents, one from India and another one from the United States of America, were joining us during the presentation. And that's what I'm saying. There is one saying of mine, which I say, do not be afraid of the people who knows a lot, and do not be afraid of the people who doesn't know at all. Be afraid of the people who knows a little. We are the ones that create the people who knows a lot. But also, when you enter my office at university, you have that saying on one of the closets, and that says that we will, as university, always educate people to know a lot. And the truth is that, of course, our diplomas have been recognized around the world, having in mind that we signed almost more than 80 memorandums of understandings, that we have Erasmus Plus mobility existing, that we have researches have been conducted, for example, with universities like from Latvia, from Lithuania, from North Europe, with South Europe, showing that doesn't matter from where you are, the knowledge and skills, if they are enoughly good, developed in a proper way, will be recognized by the world.
Of course. I notice on your website it speaks of a blended learning model. What is that?
It's a vision of our rector, Professor Dr. Ibrahim Yusufranic. That means that will be mixed something traditional way of learning plus new technology involvement, a blended learning. That means half and a half. That means that we will be able to focus on each student individually on one side, and we are always open 24/7 for our students. For example, regardless if I'm on any continent around the world, my students will get an answer within 24 hours, and also from all other my colleagues. So that blended learning is the mixture of traditional way of learning and also involvement of distance learning. And we are in process, and we are also signed with Union and University from Rome, from Rome also this distance learning agreement, which will soon probably be alive on a stand, on a stage, and soon we'll start with that as well.
Fantastic. There seems from your website a suggestion that there is a particular emphasis on practical as well as theoretical study. How does that work?
I usually tell, let's go from my example as a professor and a teacher. I usually tell my students and also my other colleagues as well that you're going to get at least, let's say, 30 to 40% at university, but same time, another 60% is the practice. Because with theory you can discuss and everything, but until we enter the practice, that's something else. So that's why we have signed agreements with some, even showing the upper government, that means the government of the state, of the canton and state, that they have to work on strategies of development links between business entrepreneurs and university. That means by doing this, we will establish the society which will lead forward. Because, for example, we do not educate in our university kids for the Bureau for Unemployment. 85% of our finished students are employed afterwards. And also, of course, our diploma have been recognized recently from Germany. We got one of our students wanted to go to the graduate study after finishing bachelor with us. As soon as they heard it's from our university, they accepted in Germany, for example.
Wow, brilliant. How important is it for you to prepare students for citizenship as well as providing a higher education for them?
First of all, when I enter the classroom in the semester, my first sentence to my all students in Faculty of Media Communications is, I would like you to prove me that I'm wrong. The first sentence. And of course, you will have at least one or two of them who will jump immediately to discuss, to argue. But when I ask them, please defend your thesis, that's then problem. My goal is to make them possible to develop their skills in a way to be able to defend their thesis by the end of the semester. It's also of my other colleagues as well, on all 7 faculties, including whatever we just spoke about till now. About the citizenship is, we are international University of Travnik. That means we have international students and we have international educators. But in the same time, talking about the world as a global village, in a sense of that today we are sitting here and we broadcast through Facebook all the presentations at the EBA
yes.
Summit of Leaders today in a moment of creation. Everybody can watch it. We have to prepare the future developers of the citizenship, being the citizens of the world.
Exactly. I also note that personal contacts between professors and business representatives is actively encouraged. What is the benefit of doing that?
First of all, as I mentioned, the strategy. That means in the same time, university can develop the future goals how to develop certain studies within the university, but also at the same time companies and businessmen can at the same time think about what we can offer as a university. So this is the linkage. Another one, joint researches, involvement of the scientific researchers, involvement of the students, to see how methodology works when you come to the point of creating research. So benefit is, this is win-win situation. Benefit is for all, like musketeers.
Yes.
One for all for one.
Mutual benefit.
Yes, mutual.
Exactly. You're obviously very passionate about your university. Is there any one thing about it that makes you particularly proud?
What can make me proud is the atmosphere, the real atmosphere within the university. I can say just by the names, the people whom we are working as the supporters, because we always talk about professors, students, but we have to think about people like Jasna, like Amira, like Alisa, like Salma, like Zahid, like Mirsad, like Adis. Those people are the people of the future, the kids that grows up 30 years old, who creates environment for us professors to be able to work properly. Especially that's also one of the vision of rector, to have the young fellow newcomers who will continue the lead of his starting vision himself in the Senate. But at the same time, to be another issue is myself as a product, as a doctor of science, can proudly say that with my PhD diploma from the International University Travnik, I teach right now while we are sitting here. I'm teach at the University Unituna at Rome at the graduate study, but it's not on somebody else's syllabus. I wrote syllabus, and also in Vilnius University in Lithuania, where I also wrote this syllabus for art communications, in Rome media ethics in professional journalism. So that means that it has been recognized, the quality of education, not from my faculty at the time within the university, but also on other colleagues and professors are also presented in the world of science.
So I think what you're saying is a PhD from your university is quite a practical qualification as well as an academic qualification.
Of course, in the same time, when we talk about mixture of academic and practical issues, because myself being involved in some other things as well, as for a long time standing educator, writer, journalist, communicator, helped me to encircle the new bulb, which is creating, it will not explode, it's just encircling another bulbs all together to be able to present university and the country as itself it's supposed to be.
University is obviously a great success, and it's certainly not standing still.
Yes.
Obviously, Professor Dr. Yusufranic is both the rector and the founder of the university. What is the vision for him and for you for the future?
We have a strategy. Of course, every university has to have strategy. We have a strategy for the next 10 years, of course. And but it will be, I don't want somebody to do the copy-paste, you know. But I can say a few words about it in the sense of always is strategy. That means that we have to live with development of the new technologies. You know as well that with the next 30 years, 15 to 20% of the work jobs will be shut down. That means that we have to work within the studies to adjust the studies to the new environment in the new technologies. What does it mean? That means that syllabuses has to be renovated every year, not like every 5 years or 10 years as it's supposed to be in the previous period. Every 12 hours, the knowledge changes. According to that, we have to change and adapt to the new needs. That's why the vision of Senate, and led by Professor Yusufranic, is to develop an environment of education that will lead to the success of university and society as a whole.
Fabulous. Well, from what I have seen of your university and from what I have heard of your university, I have no doubt that it will have a very successful future. I do wish you well for the future, and thank you very much indeed for coming in to speak to me today. And once again, please pass on my very best wishes to Professor Jusufrinic.
Thank you, and I can say one word extra, that we are opening new studies soon, but we will talk about that later. And I will pass the message.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm so sorry.